The latest update to Star Citizen has been a complete catastrophe. After many months of delays, the patch finally arrived only to completely break the game, and as of this recording, things are still in a very bad shape. So what exactly has been going on? Well, it's all down to the latest patch, patch 3.18. This arguably is one of the largest updates ever for the game, and it contains a whole load of fundamental new technology for the title, including persistent entity streaming and a new renderer known as Gen 12. Additionally, it brings in some new gameplay, such as the long-awaited salvaging. There's also new types of caves, in addition to a physicalized cargo. Yes, there's plenty of CIG buzzwords here. Now, the patch has been long-awaited, highly anticipated in fact by the player base, but it's been a very rough road to get there. The patch originally supposed to release in late 2022, but was then delayed until January 23. However, the testing period for the patch didn't exactly go very well and was therefore extended, delaying the release further until March. Now, initially this was supposed to release on the 8th of March, however during the deployment there was numerous problems which pushed it back till the 10th of March, so a very rough road to get here. Those last few hours before deployment, however, were very telling and, well, basically indicated to most people, or many people, that there were indeed going to be problems ahead. Unfortunately, as best as I can tell, CIG have not given any clear information on why that 2-day deployment delay actually happened. Unfortunately then, this delay pushed the release back to a Friday, which, as it happens, was a very bad day to release this big update on. Immediately, players were faced with login problems that prevented players from accessing the game, as well as server crashes and numerous other game-breaking bugs, as well as graphical glitches and performance drops, largely expected to be related to the Gen 12 renderer. And that's just a few of the most notable highlights, the most notable problems. There has been many others. As to be expected, players quickly took to the Spectrum forums as well as Reddit to, well, just politely discuss these issues. CIG, meanwhile, remained completely quiet. That is, until a Twitter post on the 12th of March, where they said, "We are aware of the issues many of you are experiencing when attempting to connect to Alpha 3.18. We've updated the server status page with more details," and that is what you can see here. Major outage initially, and today showing as a partial outage. More recently, today in fact, CIG have posted a rather extensive apology to their main website. They said, "We knew that a live release was necessary to continue testing at a scale only possible in the live environment." Very interesting there actually that they're now suggesting that the live area, the live server, is still a testing environment. Some people, I'm sure, will argue in support of that notion. Other people, meanwhile, may not feel it's quite actually fitting, considering there is a testing server. Anyway, they go on to say, since releasing, hundreds of thousands of you have turned up to check out the latest update. However, we understand that many of you are currently encountering issues preventing you from logging in, and for those of you who are able to get in, you may be experiencing a less than ideal gameplay experience. So up to that point, a fairly standard apology from a gaming company. They then go on to say, "First, we would like to apologise for the turbulence and frustration that many of you have experienced since release. While we anticipated that there might be some initial hiccups with the launch and tried to set expectations accordingly, it is still unacceptable to us that so many of you have been unable to enjoy 3.18 properly. Please note that we are all hands on deck, working to get remaining issues resolved and getting things running smoothly as quickly as possible. While we've already seen improvements in many areas, there are still more work to do, and the right people are on it." So again, a fairly standard formulaic type of response there, very generic, and you may notice that it doesn't go into any details on what has gone wrong with the update. Now, many people, many backers generally feel that CIG are transparent when it comes to the game's development. So if that is the case, if that does hold true, then it would be likely CIG will be explaining over the next few days, maybe the next week or two, of what exactly has gone wrong. If that's the case, it should be interesting to hear. But a few guesses here: persistent entity streaming and Gen 12 rendering, these are fundamental changes in the game itself. So it should be expected that there would be more than a few hiccups. But that said, CIG have had a very long time on this patch. After delaying it for around about 4 months, it still has released in an extremely broken state. And quite naturally, quite understandably, that has left more than a few people wondering what is going on behind the scenes over there at CIG. Now, in my opinion, the true proof in the pudding will be how long they take to fix this. And getting all of this fixed is going to be essential for moving forward. After all, this is the first implementation of persistent entity streaming as well as Gen 12, and both of those are going to be iterated on upon further and spread to other areas of the game over the coming months and over the coming years. This really is foundational technology for what comes next, which of course is server meshing, something that is essential for Pyro. Although there have been some hints around the internet lately that just maybe CIG will go ahead with Pyro without server meshing. That's something we'll have to see. Seems speculation at this point. At any rate, not a very good weekend for CIG and Star Citizen there, and certainly not a good weekend for fans of the game. Let's see how things improve and unfold over the coming days. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys and girls next time.